Good morning, children. Today we are starting with the next part of the chapter development, that is, how to compare different countries or states. You know, generally we see that when we are talking of countries or states, okay, we see that some countries are called developed countries, some are developing, and some are underdeveloped. Now, how this comparison is done? Okay, similarly, when we are talking of Indian states, some Indian states are developed states, some are poor states. Okay, so on what basis this comparison is made? So when it comes to the question of development, so what is development? Already we have seen that development means different things to different people, right? So comparing different things, okay, when suppose we have two things, when we are comparing two things, all right, they could have lots of similarities as well as they might also have lots of differences. Okay, so they could have similarities, they could have differences as well. All right, let's say for example when we are comparing students, all right, when we compare students, we see that there is lots of differences. All right, one student differs from the other, and at the same time we see there are lots of similarities also between students. So how to compare them now? So we use, if we have to compare them, we use different criterion. Say for example, the school has to select a team of team that would go and represent the school in a quiz competition. Okay, so now selecting a group of students for this competition, a set of different criterion would be taken, like the academic achievement, the IQ of the students, etc., etc. But then if suppose next time you have to select a team of students, okay, for a football tournament, inter DPS football tournament, definitely it won't be the criteria of academic excellence or IQ, etc. It would be some other criterion like physical activeness, okay, then his participation in games. All right, so in that way you see when we are comparing different things, all right, from time to time we need to use different criterion. And then why are we using this different criterion? Because this again depend upon the purpose of comparison. What is the purpose? Why are we making the comparison? All right, now here I am making the comparison between among the students because I have to select a football team. He is having better physical stamina. He is very well built. Okay, he has already participated in school, participated in some of the sporting events. So that is how, based on the purpose, depending upon the purpose of we make of comparisons, we select the criterion, right? Okay, next, when we are talking of selecting criterion, see, usually we take one or more important characteristics. Okay, we take one or more important characteristics of persons and compare them based on these characteristics. Say for example, when you are selecting a football team, what are the other things that we generally hardly we take one criterion? It cannot be only physical activeness. Yes, if you are just looking at the very well built students and we have taken them, it might be a wrong classification, because sometimes we see some students maybe short in height, all right, maybe very lean and thin, but then very physically active. He knows the rules and regulations of the game. All right, so when we are comparing things, maybe when we are even comparing persons, all right, they are compared on various characteristics. Okay, and of course there can be differences about what are important characteristics. Now that is again important. Maybe I am selecting a group of students for representing the school in a sporting event. So I might have different criterion, you might have different criterion. Okay, but at the same time we might have some similar criterion also. Okay, so in this way, when we see when it comes to national development now, how to compare which country or which state is more developed, all right, there are various criteria, all right, and these criteria may differ, but then we see that one of the common comparing countries, okay, one of the common criterion used for comparing countries is income. as you can see here, a very important criterion for comparing countries is income. Alright, so this is a very important criterion of comparing countries. And how the countries are compared? The countries are classified as developed countries, developing countries, and underdeveloped countries. And in doing that, one of the very important criterion here is income. But of course, it's not the only criterion. Alright. So next, we see that, now why are we talking of income? See, on comparing countries, their income is considered, as you can see here, their income is considered to be the most important attributes. Alright, now why is it considered to be the most important attributes? Because it is said that with higher income, you get more of everything. Isn't it? Higher the income, you get more of everything. See, this is based on the understanding that more is the income, we have more of everything that we need. Okay, the more is the income means more of all the things that human beings need. Okay, so whatever people like and they think that they should have it, they can have it only with greater income. So one of the most important criterion taken for comparing country is income. Alright, as we have said, what is the most important common developmental goal? The common developmental goal for everyone is to get higher income. Even for students also, as you all are studying, what is the ultimate purpose? Ultimate purpose is to earn a living, isn't it? Of course, many other things to get yourself, a better citizen, to make yourself educated, learned. Alright, but would anyone say that I just want to be educated and a literate person and then sit at home? Never. Okay, ultimate goal is that we all have to earn our own bread. Okay, so what is the goal? The developmental goal is income. Now, coming to the question, when it comes to country's income, what do we mean by the income of a country? Alright, what is the income of a country? In other words, we are talking of national income. See, the income of the country is the income of all the residents of the country. So what is income of a country? It is the income of all the residents of the country. Right? Now the most important term here we could see is residents. What do we mean by the residents? Yes, we are not saying that it is the income of India is income of all the Indians of the country. We are not using the word Indian, because when we use the word Indian, it's a legal concept. It's a political concept. Yes, Indians means we are talking of citizens, and here we are talking of residents. And residents and citizens are not the same. Alright, so when we are saying it's the income of all the residents of the country, for example, suppose if you're talking of India, it will include Indian citizens, and maybe it will include citizens of many other countries. Alright, those people are coming and staying in India for more than 1 year, working in India, consuming in India, saving in India, investing in India. Alright, so they are all together known as residents. Similarly, every Indian may not be a resident. For example, we have our NRIs, the non-resident Indians. They are Indians, a legal concept, but they are not the residents. Okay, it's an economic concept. Okay, so what is the income of a country now? Here we are saying is that another very important term you are getting is what is national income now. Alright, so what is national income? National income is the income of all the residents of the country. And this gives us the total income of the country. Okay, so already we have seen what is the common criterion for comparing countries. It is income. Why do we think it's income? Because higher the income, we get more of everything. Yes, so definitely all our developmental, our hopes, aspirations and needs get fulfilled. Alright, and then when it comes to what do you mean by income? What is the national income? Yes, it is the income, a very important concept we are getting here. It is the income of all the residents of the country. Okay. Next, see in the World Development Report, alright, how our income, countries are classified. How are countries classified now? Now, when we are talking of classifying countries, we see that the countries are classified not based on the total income, but it is based on their per capita income. Okay, now already I think in one of the classes we discussed what is PCI, per capita income. It is the income per person. Alright, now why not national income? Why are we talking of per capita income? Alright, we will find it out later. Alright, because see, when we are saying per capita income means per person. Okay, let's say that the per capita income is like a suppose our total national income is like a cake. It's a cake. I bring a 1 pound cake to your class. Alright, and then I start cutting the cake and I distribute it amongst the maybe 38 number of students in a class. Okay, it's a 1 pound cake. Next day I bring a 3 pound cake. Alright, and same number of 38 students gets a share of the cake. So on the second day you are getting a bigger size. Alright, so per capita income. What is per capita income? Is the total income divided by the total population. As the income rises, okay, population is remaining constant in your class. 38, 38. That is why you are getting a bigger size on the second day. Yes, you are getting a bigger size of the cake on the second day because the number of students in your class is still remaining 38. Alright. So second day when I brought a cake of 3 pound, but now suppose 2 classes or 3 class sections have been merged and maybe there are around 90 students sitting in the class. Yes, but a cake is of 3 pound. Do you think you are going to get a big share? No. Yes, that is called per capita income. It is the total income divided by total population of a country. Alright, and every time we are saying that the national income is increasing. Alright, and it means that a country is developing. It may not be so. It's not giving a real picture of development because we have to look at the size of the population. Alright, if the size of the population is also simultaneously rising, yes, in that case, what is the share of each people in the income of the nation? It will maybe remain the same or it will be even lesser. Is it understood? So when we are talking of comparing, when we are talking of the criterions for comparing countries, though we are talking of national income because it means more of everything, but then national income has a drawback. Okay, and what is the drawback? It does not take into account the number of or the size of the population. So when we are talking of size of the population, how each citizen enjoy the income of the nation, we have to talk of per capita income. Now this is the classification, okay, given by the World Development Reports. How they are classifying countries based on the per capita income. Alright, and as you can see here, there are some figures given here. For example, per capita income of US. Okay, per capita income of US dollar, 12,736 per annum and over in the year 2030 are called the rich countries. So how are countries being classified? Which are the rich countries? Having a per capita income of 12,736 per annum. Per annum means per year. These are called the rich countries. And those with per capita income of US dollar 1,045 or less, okay, of 1,045 or less are called low income countries. And India comes in the category of low middle income countries. Okay, so low income, high income countries, middle high income countries, various categories are there. We are talking of few extremes here. Alright, and these are so India comes in the category of low middle income countries. Why? Because India's per capita income in the year 2013, you might be having some more new figures. My book is a old one, so accordingly you will look at your books. So in the year 2013, we see that India's per capita income, what is per capita income? Income per person. Okay, it was just 1,570 US dollar per annum. Okay, so that is how the World Development Report has classified countries. On the basis of what? On the basis of per capita income. Alright, on the basis of per capita income, the World Development Report has classified countries. How are the countries classified? Rich countries, middle income countries, and the low income countries. Okay. Now you see the rich countries excluding countries of Middle East. Why is this word used now? The rich countries excluding countries of Middle East and certain other small countries are generally called developed countries. So which are the developed countries here? Countries with very high per capita income are called the developed countries. But then here Middle East, they are also rich countries. Alright, their per capita income is almost similar to the figure that is mentioned for the rich countries. But then these Middle East countries and many other countries, of course, in that list, they are not classified. They are not termed as developed countries. Okay, so there are various reasons, because when it comes to comparing nations or comparing countries, now we see that income or per capita income is perhaps not the only criterion. There are many more other criterion for a country to be called a developed country, right? So in the next class, we will discuss on those criterion, why the Middle East has been left out even though their per capita income is quite high, why they are not termed as developed countries. So that's what we are going to find out in our next class. You will go through your textbook, highlight the important points. Okay children, and that's all for today. Thank you.